What's up? This is Dan Fredenberg, and this is another Chance Encounter. Hey, what's up? I'm Dan Fredenberg. I'm a commercial real estate guy. I'm from the internet. Power lines that are just kind of close. What's up again? This is Dan Fredenberg. I'm joined today with Tommy Brant. We just ran into each other online. This is as chance as it gets. But one of the most important things, as far as I'm concerned, in success is being able to introduce yourself effectively. So, Tommy, can you please introduce yourself to our lovely audience? I'm sure they're
Sure.
lovely.
Hello, Ollie. Hello, audience. My name is Tommy Brant. I've got some background as an electrical engineer, a little bit as data scientist, so very technically oriented, STEM oriented as well. And so, looking to, I guess, I just recently retired. I'll kind of throw that out there if I want to drop a mic here in a little bit. So I'm full time real estate investor. So definitely focused on multifamily as an asset class of choice. If you look at the Maslow's triangle of needs, right? The basic needs, I'm focused on the most basic of needs long term, right? That's kind of how I want to position myself. Sticking to the fundamentals is how I like to play. So yeah, looking to invest in real estate and be a part of some deals.
Excellent, excellent. That's really great. So you covered some of what we'll go through in the little "Why do you want" part of an apartment complex presentation here. You'll see I have the 6 different roles down here, but the problem I noticed was a lot of beginner investors. They didn't know what the role was. But you know at least your motivation. So let's go through those. The first one is that some people are looking to preserve their purchasing power. You know, basically they got a nest egg and they're saying, well, I got a certain lifestyle and this has to make me through it. So I need to get some cash flowing assets to preserve my purchasing power. The next reason is my one, which is trading time for wealth instead of trading it for salary and then investing it in wealth. I bet you're basically in the same boat as me because I also studied electrical engineering. My last job was CTO of a small single family fund, so you're probably on the same boat, but. The next one is to fast track your retirement. In other words, you've already started on your way towards retirement, but you want to get educated and make the best decisions that you possibly can. And the next one is for the super duper ambitious people. In other words, they want to buy their entire hometown. You know, they want to have a huge skyscraper, or if like somebody has a huge yacht, they have to have an even bigger one. I was making some jokes that maybe it's because they have a little itty bitty penis, but what can you say, right? The next reason, though, the last one is some sort of like social cause, some sort of irrational reason to want to help a particular sector of society more than you already are by being a good landlord. So, out of those 5 different motivations, what most closely matches your own motivation?
Sure, it's a tough one because I'd say it's probably a tie between the time for wealth and the fast track to retirement.
Hmm.
And if there was maybe a third one, I love getting into real estate because it's a people business, right? And giving back is part of it too. So if I could help other people get there too, get to retirement, that would be a third part of the die.
Right, right, right. So, and you're pretty sharp. You can't get into electrical engineering unless you're sharp. I'm telling you in the audience, it can't be done. Okay, so, but basically, what's going through my head is that those 5 different motivations, they are meant to be slightly mutually exclusive. in particular, and you ended up catching it, as you mentioned, fast tracking retirement. And so the purchasing power protection thing, like that is like if it's a substantial, like you're already kind of retired or you're running a family office kind of money, and you're not going to get to that point unless you have the little itty bitty penis one from earlier. Make sure I get to the beep in time, right? But because like if you want to have a modest lifestyle, do you really need to have the biggest of everything, right? So I just wanted to throw that out there. So I like your answer. Now, the next segment is talking about the different roles in a commercial deal. So the way I usually start it is by talking about repositioners, because that's the closest thing for all intents and purposes for what I do. But a repositioner definitely has some underwriting roles, but they're looking at lots of different deals and they're saying, okay, well, assuming that like right now it's the hottest real estate market in history, we always have to assume in real estate that things are going for more or less what they can as a maximum. So there has to be some kind of angle to make a property generate more money than it currently is. And so one strategy they might use is inefficient operations. Okay, there's a space in what I just said. I didn't mean inefficient. I mean inefficient
Pause.
operation. Exactly. So there's a pause. Yeah. So basically, yeah. That like I've seen a lot of different neat things that people can do by operating more efficiently. I definitely need to outsource my operations because I'm from the internet. I'm all remote based. But so you need to have somebody who's taking care of everything, and like the money is going down the toilet for a few reasons. And the other reason is because the people who are on the marketing side or the bookkeeping side, they'll be co-GP as well. So that's another thing that operations might be. But the easiest way to make sure that the property will make more money than it currently does is if you get a team of contractors and you make the place nicer, so that way you can charge more rent. That's pretty straightforward. And if you're really smart, then you will not have your operations guys try to do the contracting work because they'll mess it up. You're an engineer, so you get that. But the other thing is, as an engineer as well, there's also the local role of being the boots on the ground, somebody who can oversee the contractor's work and the schedule, as well as looking at the operations and making sure they're doing what they're supposed to. So the boots on the ground or a local, that's another distinct possibility. But those are basically the day-to-day guys in the acquisitions and whatnot and the operations. But usually you have to go to a financier, you have to go to the bank, say, hey, lend me a whole whack of money so we can buy this building. They'll say, okie dokie, Smokey, but who's the sponsor, the KP? Who's the person who already owns an asset that is a similar size and has the balance sheet to spare for at least the size of the loan? So those are the 6 parts of a commercial deal. And which of those are your core competencies and secondary competencies? Like what role would you anticipate you taking up if you're co-GPing or something like that?
Sure. Yeah. I would say investor relations. So on the financier side of the die. So investor relations, and then secondarily, which is a short putt for me, technically speaking, is on the underwriting side. So the repositioner, I think, is probably what it most aligns with there. So investor relations and underwriting, and then also boots on the ground. So I love the markets anywhere between Louisville, Kentucky, and Huntsville, Alabama. Obviously, Tennessee's in the middle there. So I can get to a lot of good places, being from Middle Tennessee. So local as well.
Okay, yeah, that's some good stuff. Okay, cool. So we got your role. Now the next one that I usually like to ask is your buy box. So do you have a like a unit count? You mentioned your geographic area. What kind of unit count are you giving
Sure.
preference to?
For sure. Yeah. For my first couple, I'm looking at anywhere from 30 to 60 units
Hmm.
within those markets I talked about. And so that'll probably land me around $5 or $6 million. Once you cap out at the top there. So anywhere from 2 to 6 million, 30 to 60 units for our first one. I'd love long to midterm to float around the 50 to 100 units. It's starting to get really competitive, but I think that's where I could add a lot of value.
All right, cool. That makes lots of sense. My next question is can you describe, without breaking any SEC rules, okay, so no enticing investors, that's a big fat no no. It's how would you describe the perfect person for you to help in real estate? You know, like what role would they have, or where do you think you could be of the most assistance? I imagine in a co-GP situation, you know, a lot of people are out there for mentoring. I don't know if that's something that's an option for you or not, but who can you help the most?
Sure, I definitely get a lot of value out of that. I would say I'm pretty early in my real estate journey, but I was a tutor in college, and I got a lot of. It was very fulfilling to me, right? It fed my soul a little bit. So mentoring is definitely a place I want to be, but also I'd love to help people. I'm on my journey to financial freedom and financial independence, so I'd love to help people get there as well. So I'm very servant minded. So any way I can help other people, I'd love to do that. And so as of right now, that's me.
All right, and we ended up meeting through one meetup, but I found that through LinkedIn. Is that the best way to reach out to you, or do you have like a website or something like that?
Sure, I'll give two resources. So LinkedIn is the best place to reach me by far. So I'm very active on there. Tommy Brant, that's Tommy, B as in boy, Rant as in Tommy. And my website is tbcapgroup.com. Group has no vowels, so it's tbcapgrp.com. Feel free to take a look at my strategy. All my secret sauce is on there, the places I like to invest. And then if you'd love to know a little bit more about me, my bio is up there.
Awesome, awesome. So thank you very much for joining us today. That was really, really awesome. For anybody in the audience who doesn't know me, my background is in e-commerce and mass marketing. So that means lead capture and the interaction with all of your leads, as well as the online sales funnels. And the role that I play in a co-GP situation is using my programming skills and scaling skills to make sure that we can knock operations out of the park, but also streamline the repositioning side, the acquisition side of making sure we have decent deal flow. And then I also talk to people on the internet through a microphone and a camera, and then I like move myself around like that, and I make noises. So that's fun. But speaking of which, you in the audience, you should hit subscribe. It's somewhere down there, okay? And the reason why you should do that is because that way YouTube pays for this instead of me. And if you don't want YouTube to hold on to its money and you want to help me out, that's the best thing you can do, is subscribing. And all that means is that you might see my videos on some of your lists of suggestions if you're ever on the YouTube app. And if you're not, then you'll never see it, and it doesn't matter. It's no skin off your back. Anyway, thanks again, Tommy. Do you have anything else you want to say to the audience before you go? You want to say, I don't know, don't eat yellow snow? Some wisdom or something?
I would like to say, thanks, Dan, for having me.
All right, thanks a lot. All right, take care.